You're listening to Radio Cosmos.
All night long.
Bravo! My compliments, little lady.
Commercial!
Break for 30 seconds.
You are now listening to BaaD Radio.
Hello and welcome to BaaD Radio. BaaD stands for Business at a Distance. This is a show about local businesses and business networking. We are here in the News Radio WFLA Orlando studios from 11 a.m. to noon every Sunday, and I am your host, Angela Smarito. And before I jump into the show, I'd like to give a shout out to some of our show sponsors because without their support, we would not be here now. First, Forge IT Consulting, providing a fully outsourced IT department with a personal touch for small business. ForgeITConsulting.com. Get Me Automated. Ashley and her team educate business owners to grow their business through custom automation. GetMeAutomated.com. Osteopathic Health of Orlando. They offer integrative medicine, a regenerative medicine, and so much more. Visit osteopathic.healthcare. And last but not least on this list, Body Street of Winter Park and Winter Garden. Experience EMS Fitness Studio where it only takes 20 minutes a week to get a full body workout. Visit bodystreet.us for your free trial. All right, so we have one of our sponsors in today, and this is Ashley Voltoline with Get Me Automated. So super excited to have her back in the studio. Welcome, Ashley.
Hey, thank you.
Mm-hmm. So we want to get you in here like once a quarter, and I think it's always so much fun because you always have, there's so... In the world that we live in, there's so much that changes so fast.
Right.
And trying to keep up with it, by the time you learn one thing, it's like changed to something new.
Right. Yeah.
So tell me about some of the stuff that we're going to talk about today. I'm going to let you kind of lead in topics because I'm the student and you're the teacher. How about we do that today?
Okay. So two things we're going to talk about. First is AIO, and then later...
pull that a little bit closer. Okay. There you go.
Okay, so the first thing we'll talk about is AIO. So that's AI optimization, similar to search engine optimization, SEO.
So this is SEO, but use it for AI.
Correct.
Okay.
So it's very different. Well, I mean, it has the same effect, but it's very different in the way that you implement it. So SEO is... It's the focus of SEO is you have all your keywords and your key phrases, and you try to stuff those into your content, and so that they get searched. That's the strategy for that. But we're finding that a lot of our clients that we do SEO for, and they have really great SEO. Like when you search them on Google, if you try to search through some kind of an AI, like OpenAI, nothing's coming up, or very limited information is coming up. So that means that we need to structure the data on the website a little bit differently, so that it's, because obviously people are still going to be using Google search, I would imagine, for the next, I don't know, at least 5 years.
Right. No, I was going to say, some people don't even realize that exists, with like the restaurants near me or, like dentists near me or, you know what I mean? Things like that. So you are seeing people actually using AI now to find places that they want to frequent, like to visit.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I exclusively use ChatGPT as my search engine now. So
I do too.
Yeah. I mean, the answers are just so much better than a regular Google. It'll take all of the answers and kind of summarize it for you, which is more helpful for me.
Well, tell me, what are kind of some of the things that you search for and on a daily basis?
Yeah. Okay. So now with ChatGPT, I mean, I'm searching things like, how would I write this JavaScript for this specific web page? Just things that I would normally have to like take time to figure out. I'm just asking it to like go ahead and do that for me. And I mean, I do regular local searches too.
Yeah. Like, do you ask, hey, chat, where's a good wing restaurant or where's a good hamburger restaurant? Do you do that?
Yeah, and what you can do on top of just the good wing restaurant or the hamburger restaurant is you can say like which one is dog friendly and which one is open till 10 and which you can put in some more parameters that you wouldn't normally be able to search on Google, and it'll come up with a very specific thing for you. Yeah.
Now, I mean, I'm also curious if people are using AI on their mobile, or is it like, what is the percentage of mobile versus tablet and laptop?
Yeah, I know. I don't actually have that number, but I definitely use it on my phone. Yeah, for sure.
You?
I have.
Because you see, I find myself only using it on my computer for some reason. I have it uploaded onto my phone, but I don't know. I just don't think about it. So
right.
but I guess it's because I'm using it primarily for work related stuff.
Right.
So that's why I go to my my laptop. But I'm just curious. I was just like, wow. Do you use your phone for AI searches?
Oh yeah, and I only have the iPhone 14, but the new ones, the 15 and 16s, they integrate Siri with ChatGPT, so you can like talk to it, and then Siri talks to ChatGPT for you, which is
fantastic.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah.
So how are you having to change the websites to accommodate for that?
Right. Okay. So for AIO, like I said, it's different structure that they want the data. They really AI likes to read it in a frequently asked questions format, or the top 10 questions. It likes them in a sort of a question answer format.
Okay.
So you would say, like, have a page that says, like, what kinds of services do you have? So you would list it all out. Whereas like for SEO, I might have it structured with just like keywords. And so there's another page that we were adding on to all of our websites called llm.txt. So that's the large language model format. And we're taking, like, for example, we're doing a law firm right now. We're taking all of her data that she has, like, for all the cases, everything, and we're just making this giant, conglomeration of all the data, and we're putting that up on the website as llm.txt. So AI can search everything.
But so it's connected to their website, but it's not something people can see.
Right. You wouldn't, unless you went to the website /llm.txt,
right.
you could see it, but it's not visible for everyone else.
Right. Because nobody's going to know what
Yeah.
that stuff means.
Right. And it's just a huge, huge collection of words. So, but it's sorted in a way that AI can easily search it. And it's also, the important thing too is it's written in her language, because if everyone's got the same language out there, AI is just going to find, they're not going to look at you and be like, oh, you're doing the exact same thing as someone else. So you need to be unique, and it needs to be in your language so that, you're going to be searched first.
So do you think, is adding a frequently asked questions a good idea to add?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
For this particular thing.
For sure. Yeah.
Now, another thing is, do you think that overutilizing frequently asked questions can actually be a downfall, especially if they're the same questions over and over and over again, using it multiple times on websites?
Yes. Yeah. And there's a difference between like what people see and then what the AI sees. Like AI we can just put it all, and they can, but like for people, I think if you overdo certain things, like, we're kind of trained to be like, oh, we've already seen that. So yeah.
Well, I also think SEO can see it as just a like if somebody has the frequently asked questions on multiple places on their page, then I meant, from what I found from what chat's told me, is that's not necessarily a good thing for your SEO, because it identifies that it's just the same information over and over and over again.
Right. Duplicate content can definitely ding you. You need to make sure that
doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I didn't know it's called duplicate content.
Yeah.
I just we have a client right now that has a website that's built, and it's information overload. And I mean, the thing is like, it's not a bad site, and I can see that a lot of thought processes, but I can tell that it was written by somebody that typed in, make this, it's all AI.
Yeah.
But for some reason they did use the frequently asked questions on multiple bases. So anyway, like I said, that's something we'll have to deal with. But the frequently asked questions would be good though for their automated search engine.
Yeah, because you have to think of like, what are people searching in AI? Like they're asking like normal language questions, like how is there a hamburger place near me that allows dogs in?
Right.
So like if you've got a frequently asked questions that says like can I bring my dog? and then you write something about, we love dogs at our hamburger place, and so you've written out this content that so it's just putting it in your language, but answering the question. Yeah.
Right. Oh, break time. All right. Well, we're going to run to break. That went really fast.
Yeah.
And everybody stay tuned, because when we come back, we'll have more BaaD Radio.
These together.
Well, welcome back. And this portion of the show is brought to you by Premier Couple Superstore. There is no better time than now to visit Premier Couple Superstore, because they have got a huge selection of lingerie, toys, love oils, and a ton of great gifts. 5009 South OBT or shop online at premiercouples.net because a couple that plays together stays together.
Oh, yeah.
And with the heat outside, I find myself going to want to spend more and more time indoors. So we're here with Ashley Voltoline. The name of her business is Get Me Automated. And she's been on the show several times. And like every time she comes on, she's got new information in the world of technology and automation and how to make sure that your business gets the attention that it needs in order. And because like you said, we live in an industry now where it's information overload. It's kind of hard to be picked through the sea.
Right.
If that's how that, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
There's so much going on. And so a lot of what your business does is help companies stand out. Right. And so, so we were talking about, what is it now? It's
AIO.
So there's SEO and AEO. Right?
AIO. Yeah.
AIO.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what are some of the other things with the AIO do you have to do to kind of help those search engines find you?
Right. Yeah. I mean, so the point is just to make sure that once as we're transitioning to AI searches rather than Google searches, which I think, over the next 5 years, maybe even sooner, we'll all kind of be on that, that your business is coming up. I mean, that's the point of it. Because like I said, we have clients where they've got great SEO on Google, and then I'm super surprised to see that like literally nothing's coming up for them on AI.
Right.
So just making sure that your content is great for that.
Now, when you say your content, are we talking website only? Or are you talking about like maybe like where you post under Google My Business? I mean, where are the different places that you need to make sure that you're getting the right information?
Right. Yeah. So I'm basically talking about website only, but also as you're posting on Google My Business, Facebook, things like that, making sure that obviously no duplicate content, don't take things from other places, just reword it a little, and also make sure it sounds conversational. I think that's the thing that even though it sounds like counterintuitive, AI is like a robot, but we want to. The content that we want to feed it needs to sound very human. Like it's not going to like things that sound like another AI wrote it. It's not going to crawl that and throw that out into the world. So
that's super interesting. And is it a whole different format on how the AI searches versus SEO? Because I was told the story once and it stuck with me. It's like for your SEO, so there's like little bugs. Actually, were you the one who told me this story?
No.
There's like little bugs that go out into like website world and they kind of check.
Oh, crawlers.
Crawlers.
Yeah,
Okay. I said bugs, crawlers, crawlers that go out and they check your site and they're like, okay, this site hasn't had any activity, so we're going to bump it down. Now this site over here, has, I'm picking up, updates weekly, bi-weekly. I'm picking up this, that, and then that's how you get those position increases in your SEO.
Correct.
Now, do you have to have a Google My Business in order for that SEO to even help you?
No, but I mean, obviously, YouTube and Google My Business I always recommend having doing those, with SEO because, it's Google and they're going to favor those more.
Right. So what do you mean by YouTube?
Put your YouTube videos on your website.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, same with the AI.
No, well, put your transcripts on your llm.txt doc for that. Yeah, because it's not going to watch the videos. It can, but like what it really wants is like the content. The transcripts would be best for that. Yeah.
Right. Well, that's what I was wondering too, because I'm at any conversation I have a question, it's going to be like I told you I've been using one called Claude a lot, and I like it. And I'm like, okay, so can the crawlers read or watch a video? And can they pull the content of the words out? And it was kind of like no.
Yeah, traditional ones no. But the AI ones, like, so my AI operator can watch videos, which is cool. Like I put my Loom videos, the ones that screen share, where I would normally send that to 100 to do work. And so I put that in my operator and it watched the video and then did the work. And I was
That's
like,
cool.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I was just wondering too, because like I said, so in order for it to be successful, you need to have the video and then the script next to it.
Yes.
And that's just the way that you're going to get the best.
Correct. Yeah.
The best results for that.
Yeah.
And so, what are some of the other things that we can do to help in that area?
Yeah, and then to take it a step further for that transcript, I would also do we have GPTs written for each company with all of our language and stuff. So I would take that transcript and put it in there, do like a summary in the client's voice and put that on there as well.
Like have them read it?
No, like
when you say their voice, they're typing style.
Oh yeah,
okay,
correct. Like just like a little summary of like the transcript, you know, like in your
yeah.
voice,
In this video, you'll see me. I'm talking, to Angela with BaaD Radio. I'm talking about you, and then this is what we're covering.
Right.
Okay, that's good to know. And now that's a lot of work.
Yeah. So another thing, I'll talk about in a minute, is the AI agents, but just to tie in AIO with the agents. So there is a way that you can make an AIO agent, which is an automated chatbot sort of, to go in and check your content. So on your website, and you'll see like, oh, okay, like this page, we've gotten a lot of hits and people are staying on it a long time. This page, people are bouncing right off. So obviously the content's not good. So the AI agent can go in and update your content for you based on, what people are looking at, maybe like tweak it a little bit. So it's constantly like up, like you said, updating the page. So for SEO. So yeah.
But does it ask your permission or does it just do it?
No, you would just set it to do that. Yeah.
Do you trust your AI that way?
Partially. Like,
because I don't. I don't. I sometimes I'll be in Claude and I'll be talking to it and it gives me just like the weirdest like answer, and I'll be like, Claude, I am bad marketing. That proposal I just uploaded you to see if it was okay was mine.
Right.
And it'll be like, oh, I'm like, yeah, that's what it's been for the last like 6 months.
Yeah.
I'm just,
where have you been?
Yeah. Seriously. But no, I don't. I'm not ready to give away that kind of control unless I can say, okay, time for an update, and then it shows me what it wants to do.
Like a draft. Yeah. And there's definitely that with AI agents. So I do that with our emails. So I have it drafting me emails, but I definitely don't have it auto sending because I had an agent checking my email, and someone had sent me like an email, asked me on a date. And I know, through my work email. And the agent replied back, it didn't send, but it drafted a response back saying, yeah, I'd love to go. I did not want to love to go. so that made me rethink whether or not I want to.
Did it send it to the
No,
guy?
no,
Oh,
it was
okay.
just a draft, but I was like, oh my gosh.
So it makes a draft and then you can read it prior and you're like, yeah, no.
Yeah, we won't be sending these to auto yet. So
I lots of times with the hashtags, I'm like, and I'll even ask them, I'm like, do you understand the purpose of a hashtag? And they'll be like, well, yeah. I'm like, these very specific hashtags are not going to help my client at all. You know what I mean? If they're super specific, like client specific, like if it's got the name of the client in it.
Right. Nobody's searching for that.
Nobody's searching for that.
Right.
So I'm like, don't do that. Or it's got something. Or if I look at it, it's like it's got less than 1,000, people have put that in.
Right.
I'm like, well,
yeah.
I'm like, do you know? And I asked her, I'd be like, do you know the purpose of the hashtag? And I was like, can you stop giving me ones that are just not viable and that they're kind of worthless?
Yeah.
Have you seen that though?
Yeah, that does that with mine a lot. And then I think it's just a matter of training it. Like, I mean, it is like training like an employee who, a new hire, and you'd have to teach her how to do things that you would want to do. So.
Oh man, I thought that they just knew everything already. I just thought that it would be like hashtag sports bar, hashtag restaurant, hashtag, sports on TV, things like that. All right, well, we're going to go to break. So when we get back, we're going to continue the conversation with Ashley. So stay tuned for more BaaD Radio.
Together.
Welcome back. And this portion of the show is brought to you by Ground Up Property Services. Do you know what your sprinkler system did last night? Probably not. So now's a good time to get your irrigation system serviced by Ground Up Property Services today. And be sure to ask Rick Hall with Ground Up about a water sensor too, so your lawn doesn't get too much water. Call 407-468-4295 or visit groundupinc.net. It's been the weather's been crazy, so it's like I'm getting a lot of thunderstorms, but then not a lot of water. But this weekend it rained like crazy.
Yes.
So we're here with Ashley Voltoline with Get Me Automated, and so like, are you over in the Oviedo, Winter Springs area like I am?
Yes.
Yeah. So we had a couple downpours, and I'm having Carrie with Certified Best Roofing come out because there was a couple areas on our back porch where we just had like mysterious water.
Oh.
I'm like, I don't know where it came from.
Yeah.
It's very bizarre. But I love the fact that they do free inspections.
Yes.
Because I was looking at a couple places and it's like $250 and we'll inspect your roof and do, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, free?
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
take-
Carrie's great.
I'm like, I'll take free all day long. So during the break, I was like, what are we going to talk about now? And you're like, okay, so AI agents. And I think I told you this before. When I hear it, I go straight Matrix. You know that because that's what they are called is agents.
Oh, they were, yes. I forgot about that. Hopefully.
Yes, and the fact that the agents were obviously the bad guys.
Yeah.
But they were part of the Matrix.
Yeah.
So these agents aren't too far off.
Right.
They're out and about finding things. So
Yes.
let's talk about agents.
Okay, so let's just compare them to chatbots. So chatbots, everyone knows what those are. They're on your website or social media, and it basically you've given it some information about yourself. It's like a frequently asked questions is what I would look at it. But on a chatbot, I don't know if you've been on some, and you get kind of in a loop, and you get frustrated, and you're like, okay, I asked you that question, and it only can give you the answer that it knows, and it'll just kind of keep, and then you're finally like, you know what? Never mind. I'll just call.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I've done it numerous times.
So an agent is like a lot smarter than that. Like, so it can perceive, decide, and act. Those are the three things that it can do that a chatbot can't. So it has the information that you give it, but it's also powered by AI. So it can actually make its own perceptions of like, what are you asking for?
Is it something you create?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we would build, it's like a workflow that we would build. Like,
Okay.
yeah, it's like they can work on its own. So then it can also make decisions. So like if I were it can decide like this email is something I need to respond to, or this email is junk, like, you know, so it makes decisions. And then it can also act for you. So if you were interacting with it and you were like, okay, let's think of a chatbot, like you were like, okay, to the point where I need to talk to a person. So an AI agent can actually connect you to a person.
Right.
Like it, you know, and it does things like go through your email. Like I said, I use the one to draft all my email responses, invoicing, like there's so many things, like custom things that you can do, but basically it acts on its own without you needing to babysit it. And
But you give it the parameters.
correct. Yeah.
Okay.
And you can say, I want you to go full, I just want you to answer all my emails. If you trust it, I do not, but,
Yeah.
but you could do that.
Or you would have had a date with
yeah. Oh gosh.
some random guy.
Sorry, my AI accepted, not me.
So you give it a set of parameters, and so it'll sort out your junk mail. Can you give it permission just to delete junk?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Cool.
But also other things like qualifying sales, like that's a huge one. So you can tell it to go out and like find prospects, like on the internet, can search, find them, and then contact them, qualify them for people for certain, like I want sales $500 and under, or $500, and then contact them and then lead them to a call with you. So I mean, basically, it's like a sales
In what
team.
format do they contact them?
Text, email, voice calling, the automated voice calling, like the
So
ones
do
that sounds like
they
people.
just get that through LinkedIn? I mean, how do they find that information? Is it just wherever the website, like wherever they can find it?
Yeah, no, it's cool. Like I've seen some platforms recently where they go and like you put in prospects, like people, like let's say I'm a landscaping company, so I'm looking for people that need like hardscapes or something. Like it'll go out and it'll find you a list of like actual good prospects. I mean, I've seen, and it's like, wow, I don't, they're searching the internet, they're searching social media, like all the ways you can search.
Will it give you a percentage of like the prospect, like good, fair?
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Like this one's a good one because their website needs, like
Right.
I said, it hasn't been touched. It's,
Right.
It's in poor condition. Pieces aren't working.
Correct.
So it will say if this is a good prospect based off of these factors.
Yeah. So you would put in like, I want you to go search for anyone whose website hasn't been updated in the last 6 months, and people who are landscapers in Oviedo, and like give it, and then it'll give you the data. So it definitely as a research tool, it's like far surpasses what you.
That's
and
fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's cool, especially like I said, if you want to if you want to hit a certain category too.
Right.
Like I was told once that it's like you're in our industry that it's best to find your niche and stick with it.
Yes.
Do you do that?
No. But I keep being told that.
I know. I'm like, I don't. Part of me doesn't want to. 'Cause
Right.
I love learning about the different industries but I don't know why people say that. And sometimes I worry. I'm like, maybe they know something that I don't know. But then I also feel like, okay, so if I'm in the restaurant category, obviously I have Froggers. I don't want to go and prospect other sports bars,
Right,
because I feel loyal to. Now I know if I'm bigger, it's gonna, stories are gonna change. But at the size that I'm at right now, I don't want to do that.
No, and I agree with you. Like, because a lot of companies, they'll be like, oh, we only do run ads for landscaping, but then they're running the same ads for all the landscaping companies. And so, like you said, you just do Froggers, and that's your restaurant, and so you're putting all your restaurant,
Right.
stuff into them. And if you were doing it for another company, that wouldn't really be fair to them, because you're doing the same strategy. So
Right.
I agree with the diversifying. Like,
But it makes me worry that maybe I'm doing something wrong, because everybody's like, you find your niche, you focus on that, you do it really, really good.
and then duplicate it. That's the thing, is the duplication of it.
Is that why they're saying
Yeah,
that?
because you can easily scale and duplicate. And like your processes are the same. Like for an HVAC company, like the processes that.
So your A/B testing you can apply to. But to me it seems like a conflict of interest.
It is. No, and I'm glad you say that, because
Yeah.
not a lot of people think like that. So.
Okay, good. That's the way I feel, and I worry sometimes that maybe I'm wrong,
No.
and that I'm not going to be successful because of it. So it makes me feel better that you feel that way too.
Yeah.
So do you create? You can create an agent for a client. Talk us through that process.
Yeah. Okay. So we're doing one right now for a Social Security lawyer, and she's given me all of the briefs, all the judges' decisions. I mean, and we've got like the different circuit courts. And so what we're doing is that we're creating an agent, so that when a decision comes from the court, we just put that paperwork in, and it tells us like a percentage of whether or not she can win that case. Like if this is a winnable case based on all the other stuff, like, and we're looking for 50% or more, and she's going to take the case. If it's less, she's going to not spend her time on it. So
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about it in that situation as well, because I guess that, I mean, there's an attorney that I talk with on a regular basis, and he does like home claims. And so he has to make a personal decision on
Right.
whether or not he thinks that that's winnable. But you do it based off of probability and research.
Yep. And so then we're going to be able to do so much. She's going to be able to take so many more cases. We're just going to throw them in there, and she's only going to work on the ones that we think 50% or above winnable, and then not even read or mess with the rest of them. So
How long does it take for you to put together an agent like that
we've
at
been,
that level?
Oh yeah. So we have a 6-week turnaround time on this one. It's kind of complicated. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much so.
Yeah.
And then also, like I said, you're counting on them to get you so much of the information.
Right.
That's where I struggle a little bit, is collecting the information from the client.
That's when we start, is once I've received all the information. But yeah, sometimes people don't realize that.
They're like, oh, I don't know where it is. Or I get a lot of that. I'm not sure. That was so long ago.
well, I can't find it for you. So.
I know. Getting into people's Google My Business is not fun.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, you don't know. It's been there for 15 years.
Right.
I was like, oh. Anyway. All right. Well, we're going to run to break. We get back. We have another segment. So everybody stay tuned for some more BaaD Radio coming up. Welcome back. And this portion of the show is brought to you by Froggers Grill and Bar. Looking for a place to go with friends or meet new ones? Then you're looking for Froggers Grill and Bar. And with 4 great locations, there is bound to be one near you. And don't forget about Froggers' amazing menu where everything is fresh, never frozen. Mount Dora, Oviedo, Apopka, and Altamont Springs. And visit Froggers.com for more information. Frogger's Grill and Bar, hopping with food and fun.
Yeah, boy.
That's right. That was really loud in my ear just there. So we're here with Ashley Voltoline with Get Me Automated, and it's been a fascinating our conversation about the world of automation and what we have the capability of doing now. And for my business, AI has been a tremendous help with helping me save money. It helps me, money, save time.
Right.
Which I guess is money.
Yeah.
Right. So I save a lot of time. I'm also a lot more comfortable with my proposals that I put out. I'm a lot more comfortable with the emails that I send.
Right.
Because I tend to just do everything, and then I run it through AI and have them clean it up for me.
Yes.
So I know some people just have it do everything, but I still want to have my hands on it, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
You know,
Until we start trusting it more. I agree.
And then it'll use words like bespoke, and I'm like, nobody says that word, you know? I don't even know. I had to look up what it meant. All right. So with agents, are those only for like bigger companies, or do smaller companies kind of can use them too?
Yeah, definitely. Smaller companies, I mean, they're not terribly expensive to set up. It depends on, what we're connecting it to. Are we using like API calls, or like what is the trigger and then what is the action? And so we talked about the lead one that where you can go out and prospect leads. Another example of one is the social media agent. So that can actually post, it can actually go out and crawl content, trending content based on your business, make posts. I mean, it can create the content. You can create
Graphics,
videos.
What about
Sora.
Yeah, but don't you? What if you want to have custom graphics and you want to have custom video? You don't want just B-roll stuff.
Yeah. So for that, you would have like a Dropbox folder or something with all your stuff. And so that would be like the second step. So you'd go crawl the internet for the trending stuff, have your videos, and then it would put the captions. And then the other cool thing is it can also track like engagement and metrics and all the stuff. And then
Will it give you a shot list?
a shout.
A shot list? Like, will it say, okay, so this is what's trending. So these are the videos and pictures and things that we need from you.
Oh, yeah. You could put that in as a step. Yeah, for sure.
Well, because I mean, lots of times, like I get kind of turned off when I see an ad that is just all AI generated.
Right. Oh my gosh, I know.
I was playing with something the other day, and I used the AI tool, and Tom took a screenshot, and it was a picture of a camera like that. But when you zoomed in, like really close, they had a reflection of a guy's face in there, and one eyeball was really big, and one was really small. I didn't see it when I made it, but then I was like, ooh, yeah, no, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
So we took that out.
Yeah.
But so it'll give you a shot list, and then you can go out and get the content that it needs and upload it, and then it will use it.
Right.
That's really cool.
And then another one is like an inventory and reorder agent. So that would be like any kind of a company that has, stock and inventory. So it can keep automatic track of that and then reorder it for you automatically.
Wow. And it'll take in consideration lead times and wow, that is amazing.
Yeah.
I used to be a buyer for the duty and tax frees out of the Orlando and Sanford airport. It was a job that was way over my head. It was kind of like I interviewed for it, but I was in my 20s. Anyway, so I was responsible for ordering hundreds of thousands of dollars of liquor, tobacco, and confectionery for the duty and tax frees out of the Orlando. So when people leave, right? But my science was a piece of paper in front of me and how much I had to guess.
Right.
I literally had to guess. I knew that if we ran out of Smirnoff Red, that was bad. So I made sure, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I had but I mean, on top of that, what made it even harder is half the stuff we ordered it from the UK. So I had to take these lead times into consideration of them putting it on a boat, the boat coming over. And
right.
I don't even know how I did it. But so that could do that for you.
Yes. Yeah. A lot of things that are very time consuming for people. That's basically what agents are for. And the fact that you can run multiple, at once. So it'll save you time.
Mm-hmm. Well, moving forward, what are some type of clients that you're looking to pick up? I mean, like I said, I'm seeing you more as a teacher as opposed to somebody that's actually working on the actual physical stuff. Is that kind of like where you're going, is in your direction of being a teacher?
I do like that. Yeah. I mean, I like giving information and teaching people what can happen. Yeah. But we're like financial planners, lawyers are good. Law is such a good place for this AI stuff, like, with the cases and the briefs, because it's all like words and it, just so to be sorted through. So, and then construction, anyone in like the construction industry, like builders, or landscapers, things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So can you actually go in there and say, okay, this is what my case looks like. Go find me a case that's similar that had this type of outcome?
Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're taking all the cases that she's ever done, and then we're taking all the cases like from all the case law, and then so like just having it like compare and see like in all the judges' decisions that previously to see like what has been won. So yeah,
That is absolutely amazing. That's like changing the face of how that works, because in the past, all the, if your lawyer was good, then they had knowledge of all those books and all those old cases.
Yeah.
But now they don't have to.
yeah. I mean, she's going to be able to take on her like 100x her amount of cases just because like there's nobody to have to sit there and read. She's going to be like, okay, yes, this is a good case. Let's do it. So.
Well, that's so amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. So I'm sorry. So you said lawyers. What about medical field?
I do. I like med spa.
Med spa. Okay.
Yeah, med
that
spas.
kind.
Yeah. I'll work with.
Well,
those.
there's a lot more of the concierge type places that are popping up.
Right.
Because just going through the insurance system is such a hassle. I'd
Right.
rather just pay more and go. And I mean, the truth is that they hardly cover anything anyway. So it's not like
yeah.
if you add them all up together, you're probably going to be spending the same amount, but with just less headache if you just go to the concierge people.
I agree.
Well, that is, like I said, we still have a couple minutes, but what else is on your list there?
So just another way, like we already talked about, like the chat bot and an agent being different, but a customer support chat bot would be, or a customer support agent would be like a little bit step up from a chat bot. Like you could say like, oh, would you like us to, when you get to the point where you get stuck on something and say, would you like us to email you some more information, or would you like to schedule a call? Would you like someone to call you right now? Like it can just be a lot more like hands-on instead of, losing the lead.
Yeah. Well, like I said, lots of times if I'm doing that, it'll say, let me connect you to a live agent right now.
Right.
And
So-
that is fine.
Right. Yeah. Because then you're like, okay, finally I get to answer my question. I'm not just going in a loop. So
Right.
yeah.
What about for phones? I mean, does it work for phone systems too?
Yes. And like I said, the automated AI voice stuff is popular. I don't know if you've been called by one of those. Have you? Like the AI voice?
If I do, I probably hung up on it.
Yeah.
If there's a delay, like if I pick up the phone and I'm like, "Hi, it's Angela." If there's a gap, if like somebody doesn't start talking right away, then I hang out.
Same. Yeah.
Because I know that I'm not talking to a real person,
Right.
or if I am, like I said, I
feel
don't have time.
I feel like the incoming calls are better for the AI stuff. Like if you were like on a chat bot and you're like, would you like us to connect you to an agent? And then all of a sudden I'm talking to an AI person, but it's not like a intrusive call, like they're calling me. So I feel
Right.
like those work better. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're getting ready to wrap it up. So give everybody all your information.
Ashley Voltoline. I own Get Me Automated, and you can go to getmeautomated.com or call us at 407-809-1138.
And thank you so much for being a guest again. And we'll have you on, like I said, in another couple months. And thanks to all of our sponsors. And thank you for tuning in. Have a great week, everyone. And remember to support local.